This one tip is going to level up your crochet color changes forever. How have I been crocheting for this long and not figured this out? I am no stranger to a colour change. I love a colour change, but for some reason, this black and white project that I'm working on at the moment has really stumped me. So this is the work that I've been creating previously. On one side, completely fine, but on the other side, it lacks finesse. You can see the stitches coming through, but when I use this different technique, this is what my colour changes look like. I'm questioning myself because I feel like the process is actually really straightforward. So part of me is kind of going, is this just something that everyone already does and they haven't told me and I'm just slow on this or something? I'm sure someone will let me know if this is like really obvious and something that is just well known in the crochet world, but it took me ages to find and figure out what worked for me. I figure some of you might also be having these sorts of troubles. Why not share? There are so many different tips out there. I tried just a normal colour change, so changing the colour in the last movement of the stitch before you want the colour. I worked in the front loop only. I worked in the back loop only. I did the whole increase and then decrease method. I changed the top bar of the colour 2 stitches beforehand. It was all just confusing me. But this process, it works a whole lot better and I can use it basically with any project that I want to. Part of this tip I did see on Crochelah's video, but I've made a slight tweak. I think that plush yarn actually makes it slightly different. So this technique kind of factors that in. Let me show you what I did. As we're coming along to the end of the white stitches, the second last white, you want to make sure you only work in the top bars, complete that stitch, and then before you start the final white stitch, you bring the yarn to the front before inserting your hook and yarning over in the usual way. You're going to have 3 loops on your hook, and before you change that stitch to black, you need to find the float from the round before. So that's the black yarn that you've carried across in the previous round, and you pull that stitch really tight. So you actually almost puckering the material, and then you yarn over with your black and pull through all 3 loops. So what you're doing when you're pulling on that float, you're basically minimizing the stitch underneath, the stitch that you're working into, and this helps the white yarn to not show through. And now you can see there's a really clean colour change. Let me show you this process again, but this time I'll be stopping the white stitches slightly earlier. So I work the second last white stitch and then the last one with the yarn in front, inserting the hook, and then with 3 loops on the hook, we change to the black. But because that's not the stitch where the colour changes in the row below, we need to insert the hook into the next stitch before we pull the float again. So you can see there how much the stitch underneath closes up. And because we're working with plush yarn, that stitch holds tight, and then we're working with our black yarn. And again, it gives it that really clear definition between the 2 colours. This might be something that you already do. It might be something that doesn't even concern you. But for me and the way that I work my stitches, it was just really bothering me. So I really hope that helps you when you're creating colour changes in your work in the future.